friends! Today we're going to make a card using a lot of different products. So let's get started. The only thing I did ahead of time was I just adhered some craft cardstock, just a little strip, onto my designer paper. And this is from Stampin' Up! It's their Build-A-Bear paw prints. I forget the actual name of it. But anyway, that's all I did on the top here. And what I'm going to do is something a little different. Is I'm going to take my large scallop circle punch and I'm going to punch it out about halfway into this designer paper that I just layered. So let me lift this up, and I'm just kind of eyeballing it. I'm not measuring, and just trying to get it somewhat centered. And then I'm just going to punch that out. So now it looks like there's a little bite out of my paper here, and that's what I wanted. So what I'm going to do next is add this little thin strip of this 1/8 inch taffeta ribbon in Early Espresso, and I'm going to just adhere a small piece, and I'm going to use my Scotch tape. Flip it over, and I'm just going to put a small piece of tape to hold it. Okay, and then I wanted to add one of my fabric brads. These are new in Stampin' Up's Occasion Mini. And I also wanted to add one of these little vintage button brads, also from Stampin' Up, also to this layer. So I'm going to do that now before I adhere it. So I'm just using my little push pin and a foam stamp, and I'm just going to locate where I want it and then just poke a hole. Okay, so that's my bottom piece here. So now what I'm going to do is assemble the card, because I'm going to be stamping directly onto this vanilla cardstock. So now I'm going to put that down. So I'm going to adhere this down. Okay, so that's the base of my card here so far. And now I'm going to do my stamping. So I'm going to stamp this little bear image from the Bear Hug stamp set, which is one I got for free from the Celebration that Stampin' Up's having. And I'm going to use my Stamp-A-Majig, and I want it to go about here. You see my brad is in the way, so I'm kind of doing it upside down. And actually, I think I'm going to stamp it again and basically almost do it left-handed. Straight upside down stamping. But with the Stamp-A-Majig, you can do that. So now I'm going to locate where I want it upside down within that circle that I punched. And then I can put my jig okay. Oh, and I got a little smudges here. So, okay, so now I have this little guy, and I'm going to color him using my markers and my blender pen, as well as my ink pad. So all I do is squeeze my ink pad, flip it open, and now I have my little palette of brown. This is chocolate chip brown. I'm just using my blender pen, and I'm just going to color in the bear's body. Okay, and then to change color, I'm just going to scribble it. And now to use the markers, I just want to show you a tip that I do. Since I don't have the ink pads of these colors, all I do is I take my plastic container that my stamps come in, and I just take the marker and I just scribble onto the plastic, and now I have a palette. And then I just use that with the blender pen the same way I did with the ink pad. So here I'm using Pear Pizzazz. Now I'm going to use, this is Poppy Parade. Scribble a little spot. Use the same blender pen and just color in. And scribble again to get the color off. And then the next color I was going to use is, this is Peach Parfait. And so there's my little guy. And then I'm going to add just with my soft suede marker, just some lines around the edges. Okay, and then all I need is my sentiment, and that I'm also using from the same set, and it's Bear Hugs for You. And what I was going to do with that is I'm going to stamp it on white cardstock, and then I'm going to punch it out with my tag punch. And now this punch is a little bit large for my card, so what I'm going to do is take my scissors and just trim it down so that it's a little more sized correctly for this card. And I think I'm going to shorten it a little bit too. So what I'm going to do then is I also wanted to stamp this flower that comes also with the set, and just kind of stamp it. On the tag. And then I wanted to use this little paper clip, which is the vintage trinket, also from Stampin' Up. But I want to layer this on also some crumb cake so that it gives it a border. So I'm just going to glue this down. And then just cut it out with my scissors. Okay, and then I just want to punch some holes in it to make it a little easier to put that paper clip through. And now just put this paper clip in like you would normally. Okay, and there's our card.